Hey everybody out there, I decided I'm going to take you with me today to collect some eggs from the chickens. Hopefully they've laid lots, and I just wanted to give you a little tour of the place, or at least part of the place, on the way down to the chickens, and kind of tell you what's been happening as well. So it's been about 7 weeks since we moved on to this new farm, which, as you can see, is still a bit of a building site. But I've been planting up here. I've planted loads of fruit trees, different berries and things like that. I've gone a bit crazy because I'm very aware that, war is breaking out in the world, and I have always been a bit of a prepper. So oh dear, dropping everything. So we have a lot of raspberries and blueberries and strawberries up there. This space just behind me, this is what vines are growing up at the moment, and we actually put chicken wire all around it and had this tiger and had the ducks and geese in there for a short while before I had prepared their home down here in what I have called Chicken Village. So I just need to open the gate. I need more hands. And so it's actually perfect though for quail. So my plan is to get quail again. I've had quail before. They are amazing. I love them very much, but unfortunately quail do need to be kept in. They can't free range. They get killed really easily. They can fly off, and they very quickly, you don't have very many anymore. But that place will be perfect for a few quail. If you're wondering what the noise is, that's the geese and the ducks. Well, it's just the geese making the noise. So yeah, this is what the chickens, ducks and geese have at the moment, is this. I'm going to put this down a moment. This from up there, there's a fence up there, down to here is the space that they have if we were to go out for a whole day. I would just leave them, wouldn't open this gate, I would leave them all in there because that's much more secure. The fence is much higher, and they have shade and water and everything, and all these flickery tape, because we had birds of prey seem to, touch wood, have stopped the birds of prey. So this is the most safe space for them. It's still a huge space, it's, I don't know, perhaps a hectare? No, maybe half a hectare, something like that. But the rest of the time, they get all down here as well. So they got from this wall, beyond that shed, I don't know if you can see it, where is it, that shed, right down into the corner, along here, and back again to this. So that's easily half a hectare they have, easily. And then this is the maternity ward, because soon chickens will be going broody. So once the eggs hatch, I'll pop them in there. We had something similar in the last place, but it just was too small for the amount of chickens that went broody at the same time. So this one is kind of purpose built, and it's only being used for baby chicks and mamas. Everybody's busy telling me they're here. Hey ladies. They're all ready for their food, because they always get a bit of food when I come down to collect the eggs. This lady is the oldest of all of them. She was at the last place when I took over the last place with a friend, and only she has survived. She can only see out of one eye. She's the only ginger chicken, almost the only ginger chicken I've liked, because the ginger ones are generally a bit more nasty to each other, to everyone else. So I actually made a rule for myself I wasn't going to have any ginger chickens anymore. But they do seem to just adopt me. I just did a few days ago. I did a post, a reel on Instagram about animals in Portugal and how they just adopt you. You have this idea of what animals you're going to have, how and when, but they just turn up. I've had one time a chicken just turned up. She just I didn't have any white chickens, and then one day I had a white chicken. She just kind of moved herself in. That was 2 places ago. And then one Christmas, a baby goat turned up. She had blood on her. She just turned up. Was it Christmas Day or Boxing Day? Just randomly turned up. And then obviously cats and dogs, that just happens all the time. They adopt you. And Tiger, who you briefly saw, oh, here she comes. She's being very brave because the geese are going to get her. Tiger is one that's adopted me. So yeah, it just happens. But anyway, here's the chicken coop. I think most of you have seen it. Let me come back here. We had it in the last 2 places. It was purpose built out of those of kind of scraps, but since we've been here, it's had a porch put on it, just to give them a little bit more shade, because it is already starting to get hot for the year. And then this is where we collect the eggs. So let's see what we've got today, shall we? Oh, we got somebody still sitting on some. I kind of am hoping that one of the chickens is going to go broody in the next few days, and I do have this white one who is seeming to think about it, because I've actually got some, and I've not done this before and I wouldn't normally do it, but I've got some eggs ordered because I want some bigger breeds as a bit more of a deterrent from all the predators and things. So I've ordered myself, we're just going to see if anyone has laid in the actual coop, which sometimes happens because I recently cleaned it out. But this is the eggs. Don't know if you can see them. Yeah, I'll come in the shade. There you go. So yeah, this is Chicken Village. As I said, I have been planting loads of, you can see these are mulberry trees that have got protection around them from the geese. So I planted quite a few of mulberry trees and a few other things because I am in the process of working towards never buying any kind of animal feed ever again. I hope to be at that stage in about 3 years' time. And one of the things that the birds and the sheep can feed on is mulberries. Mulberry, not just the berries, but the actual tree, the leaves itself. So I'm just going to give the chickens some feed. So I've planted a few already established trees, and I have also planted an awful lot of seed too. You see. Come on, off you go. They're all horny at the moment, so they are not very nice. basically at the moment. So you have to watch yourself, and I've actually worn sandals down here, which I haven't been doing because they go for your feet. And usually, particularly the two smallest ones, are really sweet and really loving, and we have cuddles, but never at this time of the year. So, but where was I? Yes, so I've got some eggs ordered, and I've borrowed some incubators, so I'm gonna do a video about that and see what happens about me trying to do eggs in that way, which, like I said, I wouldn't normally do. For me it's a bit unnatural, but it is probably the best way to get the birds I want to get to, and then to have them breed with my existing birds, so that my flock is a bit larger, a bit hardier, and a bit more resistant to the many types many types of predators that we get here in Portugal. Yesterday I was putting new fence, like chicken wire, along the bottom of the land, because I think I've had a fox been visiting through there. Like I said, the flickery stuff has seemed to deter the birds of prey for now, and there's also the mongoose as well that can easily take out your flock here. But my idea is once the chicken wire's up along the whole bottom of the land, is actually to electric fence the whole bottom of the land, because that goes down onto woods, so that's where the foxes come from. So that should stop it all, hopefully. But another good thing about this time of year is that we've had lambs born. Last Sunday we had one born called Pat. I've called her Patty because she was born on Mother's Day. My mum's name is Patricia. And then yesterday morning we had a little boy born. He's completely black, apart from a completely white tail and a little white splodge on his head. I'm not probably going to name him because he will probably end up in the freezer later on in the year. So I just wanted to bring you here to watch the chickens doing their thing. They're all over here because it's shady here, and like I said, the afternoons are already getting quite hot here on the land. So there's lots of lovely cork oaks. You can see maybe they've been stripped, not my doing, for the cork sometime in the last couple of years or so, maybe. If I get my way, that won't happen again, because although it's a nice natural resource, it does make the trees more susceptible to disease and fire. And fire did come through here a couple of years ago, but they seem to be okay, these trees. So yeah, you can see maybe in the background, I'm not even at the edge of the land quite, but the chickens, ducks and geese have, it's way more than half a hectare actually, looking at it from this side. And my plan is the farm also goes above here, and that's pine trees though. So my plan is to take all the pine trees out above where the main chicken enclosure is, and then rotate them between this piece of land for a couple of months and then that up there for a couple of months. But that's going to take some work to bring it back to real grazing land, because of the pines have made it very acidic. So I'm going to do some work on bringing that back by putting ash up there, and obviously taking the pines out, letting the chickens up there, like even before there's too much for them to graze, letting them go up there and maybe putting some food up there for them so that they start pooing up there, and starting to fertilise the land and make it more neutral, less acidic again. And if that works, then not only will the chickens get a couple of months here, then a couple of months there, so it gives each space time to regenerate again, and then there's less parasites and there's less health problems, they get more nutrients, that kind of thing. But if it works, then I would like to do the same kind of principle for basically the pine forest goes almost the full width of the land. So eventually maybe bringing it all back to grazing, because our intention is to make the flock of sheep bigger, and there's still a very real dream that one day to get a couple of cows as well, but we need more grazing for that. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share today. The cat's found me again, and it's actually quite hot in the sun. I have so many plans for bringing the soil back to its full health again, and the animals and the land. It's been very over-farmed, very over-tilled. So already started. One of the fields has been replanted with traditional grazing seed, which is full of nutrients, full of proteins, good for the animals, but also good for the soil, good for water retention, all of those sorts of things. And then my intention is to do that with more of the fields here, and make the farm, as the name suggests, regenerative in as many ways as possible, not just for us but for the animals and the earth itself. And yeah, I'm going to do some separate videos on the sheep and on regeneration in general. That's the pine forest. But if you're interested in any particular topic, let me know. Please post that below, and I'm happy to share. And also I've shared a link below, and it will be below all my videos and on my Instagram and everything in future, that if you're interested in what we're doing, if you want to support us in any way, you can sponsor an animal or a bag of seed or a job. There are lots of different options. If you click on the link below, sponsorship link, you can see that there's everything from just sponsoring a little quail, which is £3. It's all in pounds, not euros, because my PayPal is still in the UK. But yeah, from anything from a quail, a chicken, a duck, a goose, a bag of seed, a chicken tractor if you're feeling flush, or if you won the lottery, a cow, there's all sorts of options there. If you want to support us and what we're doing, that would be amazing. So yeah, just put a comment below if you're interested in this, if you want to know more, what you want to know more about, and I will happily share. Ciao.